What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and we're here for our final predictions video for 2023. Today, I will be providing my predictions to AEW World's End 2023, the first ever World's End pay-per-view event for AEW. And there's a lot to discuss, so let's jump right into it. As always, with my predictions video, I like to upload them at least 24 hours prior to the pay-per-view taking place. That way you get to watch it and hear what I think about it before the event takes place. As well, normally I have to deal with this with AEW. They normally add stuff last minute, last day. So if anything additional gets added, I'll try my best to put it in the comments down below what I think about what could potentially be added. Speaking of that, the first matchup to talk about on the 0 hour is a 20-man battle royal with the winner getting a TNT title shot. There have been no participants listed, and I forgot about it before I started filming. So I went through the AEW roster on my phone, and it took a long-ass time to do it. I got through the A section because it's not like how the roster page is on a laptop where you can see it row by row. It goes person by person. I'm like, you know what? Hopefully they announce the participants. So if the participants are announced prior to the event, I'll put who I think in the comments. The other matchup on the 0 hour is a matchup I don't think I'm on. This is probably the second matchup I'm looking forward to the most. I'll talk about the one I'm really looking forward to the most at near the end. But for the FTW title in an FTW rules match, Hook versus Wheeler Yuta. This has been teased, it feels like, for months, and just kind of on and off shenanigans between the two. But now they'll finally square up or square off. Either or, I guess, fits. I think I'm going to pick Hook. I don't know how many matches Hook. I think Hook has only lost one match in his AEW tenure. I might be wrong, but I'd be surprised if he lost. Now we get to this main card. The first matchup is a match a year, maybe plus in the making. Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee, the former tag team champions, finally face off in one-on-one competition. Swerve Strickland is on a big roll, even though he did not win the Continental Classic. He had a great showing. He has a lot of momentum going behind him, where Keith Lee has been on a win streak, but I feel that I was looking at people talk about this matchup. They're like, what has Keith Lee done? And the last thing that people were talking about was lose to Samoa Joe before he vacated the ROH TV title. And that definitely does stick in my mind. And again, this matchup kind of feels thrown together. Like, there's been teases of this, but it's just like the tag team broke up a year ago, and it just kind of doesn't really, it's a matchup. Let's just get it done. I kind of feel like let's just get it done with. That way we can move on with it. We got to worry about it anymore. That being said, I'm going with Swerve because, again, like I said, he has the momentum going for him. Next matchup is another one where they're not former tag team partners, but they've been teasing it for a while, on and off, and it's just like, look, can we just move on with this already? Andrade El Idolo versus Miro. I feel this matchup is more of a coin flip. Andrade, again, last time I say it, had a lot of momentum in the Continental Classic, where Miro has, I couldn't tell you the last damn time I saw Miro have a match, but he's just mainly been cutting promos talking about Andrade. If you really wanted to get to him prior, probably could have had the match, or even been in the damn Continental Classic. But I think I'm going to use the same logic that I used with the prior matchup. Andrade is the one with the momentum going for him. I'm going to go with Andrade. Next, two matchups are 8-man tag team matchups. This first one being what I feel very thrown together. Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Konosuke Takeshita, and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the team of the returning Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, Sting, and Darby Allin. I'll say this. I haven't said it in any of my videos. I hope Kenny Omega gets well soon. And I guess I will somewhat apologize because I would imagine for the past 3+ months I have been bitching and moaning, just saying I wanted to see Kenny Omega in singles competition. Or at least in his tag team with his tag team partner Kota Ibushi and the Golden Glovers. And instead we kept getting Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho and the Golden Jets. Now we're not getting any Kenny Omega at all. So I wish Kenny Omega well in these tough times. That being said, I understand they had to change the matchup up. We weren't getting the tag team title match. I have absolutely no clue what Sting and Darby Allin are doing here. Maybe it has to deal with the last time. I don't know. It's very weird. This storyline with Chris Jericho, the Don Callis family, is just all too intermingled. I struggled a lot to say that word. And it, is very confusing. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm not going to complain about seeing Sting. And he's still undefeated. And I don't think that's going to change now, so that's why I'm going to pick Team Sting. That is what I'm calling this team. Next matchup, this one at least makes sense, and I feel maybe a little bit more of a star-studded matchup, as is the All-Star 8-man tag. All participants from the Continental Classic, the team of Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, and Mark Briscoe versus Brody King, Jay Lethal, Jay White, and Roosh. I think I'm going to go... Ooh, this is difficult. It also does not help. I don't think... Yeah, this is kind of mixing up the blocks because Mark Briscoe was not in the same block as his other three teammates, while Brody King was not in the same block as his other three teammates. I think I'm going to go with team Bryan Danielson, Claudio, Daniel Garcia, and Mark Briscoe. I just hope this matchup is crazy and, as I would say, balls to the walls. And next matchup, the rest of the matchups I'll be talking about are for championships. The first two are involving women's championship. The first one being the TBS title, Julia Hart versus Abaddon. The other one being the women's title match, Toni Storm and Riho. I'm lumping these together because, finally going to shed a bit of positivity. Again, like I said, I've been complaining a lot about the Golden Jets tag team when it comes to AEW. Other thing I complain about in AEW is just I feel the women's division, we just kept seeing the same stuff over and over again, and it was not fun to watch. That's the best way to put it. And I just was begging the question, is there anything they can really do to change it? And they have done that by providing new, fresh faces and, I guess, returning faces to get in these title opportunities that they have not been provided. But Julia Hart and Toni Storm's title reigns are just beginning, and I don't expect them to end now, so that's why I'm picking Julia Hart and Toni Storm, because I lump those two matches together because I feel the same way about both. I'm glad that we're seeing something different for the TBS and women's championships. Next matchup for the TNT title, in a no DQ match, Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. I'm going to pick Adam Copeland to win this. I've talked about this matchup a lot the past 2 months because I suggested it for Full Gear, and then we ended up getting the 6-man tag match, and then I think I suggested it again for my World's End fantasy book. And essentially, I think it makes sense for Adam Copeland to win this championship because since he's been in AEW, he's been lumped in this story with Christian Cage, and now it's a bit about wanting to get revenge, but I feel if he's able to defeat Christian Cage, he can move on. The main reason I see Adam Copeland being the TNT champion is A, we have not seen Adam Copeland with the championship since 2011, and B, like I said, since he's been in AEW, he's been lumped with Christian Cage, and we have not seen really any dream matchups that we'd want to see with Adam and the AEW roster, and him becoming TNT champion, making it an open challenge championship once again prior to the days of Christian Cage holding it. Maybe we can start getting more of these dream matchups between Adam Copeland and the rest of the AEW roster. But if Christian Cage wins, I wouldn't be that upset because he's had a great 2023. Next two matchups. The first one, probably the matchup I'm looking forward to the most on this show, in the finals of the first ever Continental Classic, representing the Gold League, Jon Moxley, and representing the Blue League, Eddie Kingston. Now, anytime I talk about the Continental Classic, I was saying I really want Bryan Danielson to win. That way I could see Bryan Danielson be Ring of Honor World Champion once again. That ain't happening. That dream is over. However, something that I felt might have been a problem that, now is kind of somewhat fixed, is that Eddie Kingston put up 2 championships for this tournament. I think if he was to lose or at least not even make the finals, he would have looked like an idiot. Because, he sacrificed 2 damn championships, and he's leaving with none, even though the other competitors did not sacrifice anything. And again, the case, he lost matchups in the tournament, so hypothetically, I can understand this saying, well, he lost matchups, he wouldn't be champion. That's fair. That's a fine statement, but at least he is making the finals, and, this is a very, very big championship defense for Eddie Kingston. And he finally defeated Bryan Danielson, but can he finally defeat Jon Moxley? I feel that he will, and I'm going to predict Eddie Kingston to win this matchup. So, like I said, if Danielson couldn't win the tournament, I'm glad that Kingston, in my opinion, will. So, I'm looking forward to this match the most. And y'all might have just heard my stomach growling. It is late at night. I don't plan on eating. I plan on going to sleep. As now we get to the last matchup. I have a lot that I could say. I will say a lot, and I feel that I will forget a lot. For the AEW World Title, MJF versus Samoa Joe 2. Like I said, there's a lot that is on my mind with this matchup. Mainly, not even with this matchup, but the story of it. And that the main story has been dealing with the devil. And I won't lie to you, I don't know if I could put in the title of my video, the devil, because, I keep saying it in quotation, so I don't know what the title of this video will be yet. But last Wednesday on Dynamite, this took a turn I would say for the worse. Because the Devil's masked men defeated MJF and technically Samoa Joe for the ROH Tag Team titles. Now, and then after the matchup, Samoa Joe attacked MJF. Even though the whole story has been Samoa Joe wants to protect MJF, that way he can get the dang title match. I think my main issue that I've been thinking of is that Samoa Joe was helped by the devil, for the Devil's men. And I would think, and I've always thought this, whoever is portraying the devil should want MJF to be the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, the other thing is MJF has defeated Samoa Joe before. Now, that was with the help of someone, and he did cheat a little bit. And now, going into this matchup, MJF is a lot more banged up and a lot more damaged, and Samoa Joe just beat him up some more. So it might be the case of last month, where MJF was banged up, had already competed that night, and defeated Jay White, and everybody after Full Gear is like, oh my God, they have ruined Jay White. He's kind of recovered, but not really up to the standards to prior Full Gear. I think the same thing is going to happen with Samoa Joe, because I just don't see him winning the championship. I would love if Samoa Joe won the damn championship. I don't see that happening. I'm picking MJF with that sentiment. I just, I was very full-born on the Jay White bandwagon and him winning the title. I wouldn't even really say that was a bandwagon. I was pushing for that. I just don't, I would be surprised if MJF lost the title. Because, again, my main thought is, whoever is the devil should want MJF to be the world champion. That way, that person can take the title off of him. But with that being the case, unless the devil reveals themselves and they're like, we want to ruin MJF's life, that is fine. Have Samoa Joe win. Again, if Samoa Joe wins, I wouldn't be that mad. The main issue I see here is either Samoa Joe is going to lose to someone he has already lost to, and is the person that he lost to is a lot more beat up and a lot more damaged than the last time they faced. Or the devil essentially, cost MJF the world title before they could even take the title off of MJF. And this is just a thought process that I had, and I just feel it kind of would be common sense, is that the devil would want MJF to be world champion. I don't know. The main thing also that I will say, hopefully this damn devil is revealed at the show. That way we can move along. We were tired of seeing it. Feels a lot of people are comparing this to WCW. It feels very Aces and Eights like in TNA. And, I didn't have that big of a problem with Aces and Eights, but it's just, if you keep adding on nameless and faceless people, it's just getting log jammed, and it's just like, why should we care anymore if we don't know who the hell the damn people are? And wrestling fans, sometimes they like being surprised, but if it is people that they don't like that are surprises, cough, cough, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, they are going to hate it and are not going to like it. So hopefully the devil is revealed. I've said several times who I think the devil is. This will be the last time I say it, because if it is not revealed at this damn event, I'm over it. I think it's going to be Adam Cole. We have not seen him in the longest time. I have said it for the longest time that I think he is the devil. I hate that I've had to say that so many damn times in this. But, with Adam Cole being away and getting as healthy as he can be to move on to the future of Adam Cole versus MJF, or Adam Cole and MJF. But like I said, with him being away, it's like they're trying to make you forget about him existing. That way, when you see him, it's a big surprise. So we'll see what this happens with this event. AEW right now, I think is the best way to describe it, is great in-ring wrestling that has never been a fault of theirs, but the storytelling is either going on way too long and we don't care about it, or the dang stories they putting on we don't care about. I'm not going to count. A lot of people were trying to say the Continental Classic had a great storytelling. It did, but the matches overshadowed. Like, the matches were the draw of the Continental Classic. That was the whole point of the Continental Classic. Now, that is good. But will this momentum of great matches propel the storylines now that the Continental Classic is done? We shall see. Like I said, AEW very rarely puts on a bad pay-per-view. AEW very rarely puts on a bad pay-per-view, so I want to lump that in there. So this is the last time I'll be talking about predictions this year. However, I did say I'll be having a video every day this week. Technically is a lie, because I'm going to do a double upload Friday, no upload Saturday. With technically, I was going to put off one of these videos till Saturday, but I'm going to be generous and upload them both on Friday. But the next time, one of the next times you will see me, I'll be talking about AEW again, because I plan on doing a year-end review awards show on Sunday, and I was waiting till World's End ended, that way I could talk about it. So that is it. I'm rambling on. I hate when I do that, but it is what it is. So thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe. If I have to provide any more comments down below talking about this show, I will. Hopefully you enjoy the show and enjoy your weekend. And stay safe. See you in the next video.